Hello everyone. This is Dr. Ida Joycey, Assistant Professor of English, St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science, Cuddalore. Happy to meet you all once again in this lecture session. In today's class, I am going to give you a discussion about My Lost Dollar, an interesting prose piece written by Stephen Butler Leacock. To give you a brief note on the writer, Stephen Butler Leacock was a Canadian teacher, political scientist, writer, and humorist. Between the years 1915 and 1925, he was the best known English speaking humorist in the world. He is known for his light humor along with gentle criticism of people's follies. And to begin with the text, this story is actually a autobiographical narration of the author's first-hand experience with his friend Major Todd. The narration is in the first person. The one-line summary is that he tries in many ways to get back that dollar which he lent his friend Todd for paying off his taxi to go to Bermuda. It is funny to note the interesting comparisons made with the $1 and how beyond all there holds a good friendship between Todd and the writer Stephen Butler Leacock. So the story begins like this. The author's close friend is going on a tour to Bermuda. Just before his departure, he wants some small change to pay off the taxi. He asks the author to lend him $1. Leacock also gives it readily. Todd departs for Bermuda. Todd writes a letter to the author from Bermuda, but there is no dollar bill inside the envelope. 12 months pass by. Todd has returned from Bermuda but has not bothered to return the $1 to the author. The lender is too decent to offend his friend by demanding his dollar back. He tries many ways to remind Todd about the dollar he owed, but due to some inexplicable reasons, the memory of the unpaid dollar refuses to enter Todd's mind. The author lists out the ways he had attempted to remind his friend. First, he went to the railway station to receive Todd when he returned from Bermuda. Todd was as cheerful as ever, but not the least embarrassed. The author becomes unhappy. On another occasion, during an evening chat, the author discusses the subject of the American dollar by asking if it is in circulation in Bermuda too. Todd replies casually, but remembering about the unpaid dollar becomes impossible this time too. The author meets Todd almost every day in the club, but Todd never mentions about his debt. Todd even says that he no longer remembers much about his Bermuda trip. The author is exasperated. He feels resigned to the loss of his dollar. In desperation, he adds Todd's name to the list of people who have similarly not paid money back to him. The author remains as friendly and faithful with Todd as before. On another day, the author met Todd over dinner. Todd talks about the loan of Poland which is not paid, but Todd did not appear to think of his own unpaid dollar. With his wounded feelings, he feels if forgetting loans is so human. He doubts if he himself could have taken such loans and not repaid it. This realization unsettles the writer. Much disturbed, the author is about to start a back to honesty campaign. He is convinced that honesty should be the backbone of the nations aspiring to greatness. While concluding, the author warns his forgetful friend Todd not to know of the torment the payment has caused to him. Comically, he warns the readers not to bring the copies of this story to the University Club Montreal, frequented by Major Todd. The moral of the story is that, big or small, one should return the money owed to others. that amount may be important for the lender. Further, it gives a great pain to the lender if the borrowed man totally forgets about the money that he has borrowed. An honest man remembers the help done by his friends. In this story, there are the themes of honesty, hypocrisy, appearance, letting go, frustration, and acceptance. Narrated in the first person by an unnamed man, the reader realizes after reading the story that Leacock may be exploring the theme of letting go. As to why the narrator doesn't simply ask Todd outright for the money is also interesting. Again, the narrator is looking for a standard from others that he himself cannot meet. The story is a hilarious excerpt based upon human behavior on borrowing and lending money, intervened with the natural tendency of human memory of the borrower and the humorous failed attempts of its revival by the lender. So, this is the gist of the story. Thank you.